Today we're going to be looking at 12 players whose stock dropped immensely over the last 12 months. We're going to be looking at their player values, see whether we want to buy, sell, hold, or trade, or even set on fire. Before we do all that, you need to click that subscribe button right now because we're talking about these players every single day. We're talking about strategies for your Dynasty team every single day, and you need to be in the know. Click that button, stop missing out. Our first player today has seen a big hit in value over the last 12 months due to the production over the season and due to free agency. Roschon Johnson. We got DeAndre Swift back there. Now we got Khalil Herbert. And now we got some more competition in the backfield. We have more competition in the passing game because we got Rome Odunze, Keenan Allen, DJ Moore. That being said, the market's saying, hey, we're not interested. On top of that, we did not pop off during a rookie season. We had some opportunities. We just didn't blow up. And now there's more competition going into year two. A bigger running back prospect with good size, adjusted athleticism who can catch the ball a little bit out of the backfield. But the market's saying, hey, I don't know about this. He's being valued at RB50. So at the price range, he's a stash play right now. He's a guy you're just holding as a speculation. But if you want to look at the positives here, DeAndre Swift struggles to be healthy for a full season. We got Khalil Herbert, pretty much the same thing. Over time throughout the year, he might get another opportunity. This offense might be moving the chains a little bit better with Caleb Williams and company. If you want to look at the negatives, we got competition there. This team's retooling, rebooting, and maybe they're going to keep bringing in fresh blood to revamp this team to help Caleb Williams get going, and they do not have much invested in Roschon Johnson. Jordan Addison. After the DUI incident, you're seeing the stock plummet even more. On top of that, we don't know what the quarterback play is going to look like and if it's going to be good enough to fuel two wide receivers because we know Justin Jefferson's that dude. If you look at him game by game, the production's okay. He didn't really break out. He's also being valued around wide receiver 30. So the stock's not really tanking. There was just a little bit more hopium during the season when he was starting to show a little bit of production, and then it's starting to drop a little bit each month throughout the off season, especially as people wonder what's going to go on with his offense. If he can stay fast-paced, if things spread the ball around, he's going to be okay. I like him for the long term. He's only 22 years old. Wide receiver 30. A good collegiate profile to his name. There is some upside, and maybe you want to buy the dip here. Josh Downs has been on a steady decline since the end of the season. He was hurt last year for a bit. Remember that. But the thing about this offense is Anthony Richardson, he'll run the ball a bit. Jonathan Taylor's going to run the ball a bit. We're going to see the clock turn a bit. We got Michael Pittman there going to get a 25+% target share. They picked up A.D. Mitchell in the draft. He's a deep threat. He's very good. I see him getting opportunities as their deep threat, getting some targets. Josh Downs might get like a 17 to 18% target share, but he's at wide receiver 52, just 22 years old right now. There is a little bit of upside there, but the market's saying, hey, we don't like what we're seeing here. But at this price tag, if you're deeper in your drafts or you're trying to get a young prospect, this is one you may want to look at for the long term because he is a very good player. Good players do good things, and it might give you spotty production due to the situation, but it might be something you may want to look at. Tyjae Spears. They picked up Tony Pollard. His value dropped to where it probably should be, around RB21. It was going a little bit too high prior to that. People were speculating that they would go the whole offseason without adding a running back of consequence, which they did. The market took a tank, but I like this value for him. You're getting a young running back. We look at running backs 1, 2, 3-year windows max. That's Tyjae Spears' window here with this team. I like that a lot here. 23 years old. We're still a young running back in the league. We got some time there. You're catching him at a good price tag. Catches the ball well out of the backfield. Very explosive. Javonte Williams is tanking. His value is actually starting to drop a little bit more. It might drop more throughout training camp. He's a hot potato right now until we get some stability with him with the news that just dropped. It's speculative news. It's not like true news or hardcore news, but they're saying he's going to have to fight for a starting job in training camp. Can he hold off Audric Estime? I get it, he's a 5th-round pick, but Audric Estime, very productive at Notre Dame. Can pound it between the tackles. Javonte Williams has an injury history. Maybe they want to move on. Maybe they want some competition because they got to be good on the ground. Javonte Williams, though, hot potato right now. RB33, but maybe there's younger players you want to pivot to in this range. Dotson's stock was on the rise during his rookie season. He was productive in spurts due to injury, and then last year, it just leveled off, tanked down, and the offense just threw targets all over the place. You'll go in some game scripts here, and everybody got like 3 to 5 targets. It's spread around, and nobody was really hitting, and it'd be random between Samuel and McLaurin. But Dotson might have a little bit more upside here this year due to a change of quarterback play. Samuel's gone, should be more of the wide receiver 2 there, and now he's at a way cheaper price tag. But on the flip side, the negative to this, if he doesn't do anything this year, if he does not take a step forward this season, then the writing could be on the wall because they spent a first-round pick on a rookie quarterback. They're going to want to get players around him. They want to add wide receivers. We see this time in and time out. He's got to step it up now. But wide receiver 56, if you want to take a speculation stab, maybe Justin Fields. And it's more of a sad story of decline here, as 12 months ago his value is here. It keeps dropping and dropping and dropping. QB 30 as a speculation play in either format here. I mean, compared to backup quarterbacks in the league, if he gets under center, even if he's not playing good, he has the potential to be a QB1, a top 12 quarterback in fantasy football. That being said, at that price tag, it's like, what the heck, let's see what happens, but also could be a falling knife. This training camp is very crucial for his fantasy stock. We're going to watch that every single day, but Justin Fields might be a falling knife. Michael Mayer's stock tanked with Brock Bowers, as it should. His upside's going to be capped, but tight ends don't have much upside to begin with. At tight end 20, it's still kind of up there for a tight end 2 on his team. Brock Bowers could be the big slot, though, and Michael Mayer could be in line. He could be still getting opportunity here and there. That being said, tight end 20, I don't know. I don't really care about the tight end position too much. If you want to play Moneyball, go ahead. I don't really care that much. Tight end 20, it's super cheap. I feel like he's going to be roster fodder for the long term. I feel like he's going to give you some gains and spurts here and there, probably because he was a very good receiving asset for Notre Dame back in the day. But again, Michael Mayer's stock is capped with Brock Bowers. But Michael Mayer could give you spotty production, but it may not be worth the squeeze here considering what else is on the board. Tank Bigsby. The stock is tanking. He had some opportunities last year, just didn't live up to it. Can we get right in training camp? Training camp's going to be huge for him. Can he get some opportunities if something happens to Travis Etienne? And if it does, can he capture? And if that happens, what are you going to do? RB60 right now, pretty much you're just taking a speculation play because you like Trevor Lawrence. You like that they're pushing the ball downfield, and you're just hoping he gets an opportunity and maybe something clicks. Another good thing about this at RB60 and what we've already seen is if he busts, he's going to bust quick and you can move on. He's not a player that's just going to sit on your roster and you're going to hope for another 2 years. You're going to see him play this year, first few months, and you're going to know what you got real quick, and you can play the waiver wire. He's not going to be sitting there on your roster collecting space. On top of that, if that happens, you're out, but it's RB60, no big deal. Wash them hands, move on. Odds are that things are stacked against him right now. Usually a rookie, when the stock plummets like this, the bounce back isn't likely to happen. There's a reason for that. The market's saying, hey, we saw him play. We don't think we can get it done, and we're out. We're out. Very few times you see the stock tank on a rookie and then come back up the next year. It can happen, but the odds are stacked against Tank Bigsby. Training camp's crucial. In-season opportunities are crucial. There could be a chance he turns things around with opportunities and the offense is clicking here. Watch for him at this price tag. Just a speculation play. Dameon Pierce, pretty much dead. Pretty much dead. We knew this was coming. We knew this 12 months ago, even prior to that, when his stock was high. He was a major sell there. He was almost like RB1 territory in Dynasty. He was pushing that. And he had a lot of hype. And now he's RB62 on Keep Trade Cut. And he's down there. He's down there. The stock is low, and it's not coming back up. Joe Mixon's there, and if something happens to Joe Mixon, then maybe he gets an opportunity, but really he's just roster fodder at this point. Maybe you want him if you got Joe Mixon due to the Texans offense. Maybe, I'm not going to suggest that, but maybe if you want to at RB62 price tag, I feel like if Joe Mixon's not for the long term with the Texans, they're just going to move on. It's not going to go back to Dameon Pierce. So pretty much, he's roster fodder as a backup just in case he gets an opportunity. Treylon Burks is currently that bust that everybody's hoping that comes back, that hopes that takes a step forward. And I feel like in the right situation, if he's used underneath more instead of getting a deep A-dot, maybe, but there's too many options in the passing game right now for this to project for production. At best right now, 4 or 5 wide receiver sets. They use him underneath, and he gets some targets, but that's not going to be enough for fantasy production. At best, really, for fantasy, he's got to go to a new team and get some opportunities, but usually when that happens, that player falls on their face. The odds are stacked against him immensely. Usually with a player like this, whose stock is just tanking day in, day out, year after year like this, is done. Wide receiver 92 in ADP. The odds of him becoming like wide receiver 30, wide receiver 20 is heavily stacked against him. It could happen. I would not bet on him because we're going to get more wide receivers in the league next year. We got good wide receivers. We got a lot of good rookie wide receivers right now. It's going to be hard for a wide receiver to climb a depth chart because the next team that invests in him is not going to invest much. There's not going to be much sunk cost. That means once he gets on the field, he's going to have to rip it. He's going to have to. The odds are against him. If you want to take that stab, it's so cheap it doesn't matter. But Treylon Burks probably doesn't matter right now in Dynasty. Miles Sanders here. We got Jonathan Brooks, but Jonathan Brooks is coming back from the knee injury. Training camp is coming. We will know more about him soon here in the next few days and weeks. Miles Sanders, though, RB82. He's not a part of this regime. They did not pick him up. He's not for long here. But maybe during the start of the season, they got to use him anyways. And maybe he can give you some cheap production to get you by. Maybe he can give you some cheap production. And I'm talking about 8 to 10 to 11 fantasy points. I'm not talking much. To get you by at this price tag. Maybe for a few weeks this season. Until Jonathan Brooks is good to go. Maybe. But maybe not. He's a falling knife right now. The value is not for long. He's not a long-term play. But he's so cheap that maybe you take that stab as a speculation because you want some fantasy points. You're hoping for that. You're not good at running back, but you're built at wide receiver and tight end. Maybe you do that. He's not a stock that you're trying to get on your team. But if you're looking for something dirt cheap, you're trying to get some production for the first couple weeks, if he's getting opportunity, watch him in training camp. See if the buzz is good about him. Watch Jonathan Brooks, though, a lot closer. Because if Jonathan Brooks is good to go, Miles Sanders is good to leave. That's the bottom line because Stone Cold said so. Those are 12 players whose stock is tanking right now. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Make sure to hit that subscribe button on the way out. One thing for watching. Catch you on the next video.